Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Welcome to our Christmas special. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's the year end 2025. Key global investment, residency, and citizenship updates in this special live stream. Whether it's for your tax optimization, offshore banking, company setup, or to obtain a plan B for another citizenship or residency. That's what we'll cover in this live stream, unedited, uncensored, just exposed truth, whether you like it or not. In 2025, we saw the new administration in the US put a head tax on new H-1B visa applicants. And in practice, we have seen the US government pushing to reduce the number of foreign workers coming into the US and offering local jobs to American citizens instead. The US diversity lottery program has been paused indefinitely due to security issues. We see the US government is prioritizing applicants who invest in the US. This means whether you've been working there for a top employer for 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, or 30 years does not matter to them anymore. This means the EB-5 investment program leading to a green card is in full throttle and probably one of the hottest and most efficient immigration programs to obtain a green card for any applicant and their dependent family members. And the new gold card donation program, which was just launched by the administration in the US early in December 2025, is brand new. It's too early to comment. It claims to be a fast track green card processing and have an interview scheduled in weeks, but time will tell. Even the lawyers in the US don't know how to navigate the program. There's no case studies done. But anyways, the website is open. You can use your credit card and make a $1 million donation to the US Treasury Department if you wish to do so. That laugh wasn't intentional, just a little bit comic. Canada, on the other hand, is also cutting immigration significantly, as everyone knows. However, unlike the US immigration policies, Canada doesn't care if you have money, are a billionaire, a millionaire, a genius, a skilled worker, a cook, a welder, or whatnot. They don't want anyone to apply and enter Canada at the moment. The population growth in the last 5 to 6 years, especially post-COVID, has exceeded their expectations, and they're trying to press the reset button. The government is playing catch up with infrastructure and public services, which are lacking. It's a mess, and they want to clean up with a major pushback on any new applications for study visas, visitor visas, tourist visas, work permits, PR applications, business, skilled worker, provincial, whatever. It's almost impossible now to have a clear PR pathway, permanent residency pathway for Canada if you're planning to apply in 2026 or anytime in the near future. We'd recommend to have a plan B in place in case you have been considering Canada. Europe, we've seen a lot of changes. Portugal, being the most popular golden visa program in the world since its inception in the 2012-13 era, or at least it was, has decided to extend its citizenship eligibility timeline from 5 years to 10 years for non-Portuguese speaking nationalities. Of course, if you're from a Portuguese speaking country, it's 7 years. In addition to not allowing this timeline to start for citizenship eligibility from the date the application for your golden visa PR was submitted to the Portuguese department, the AIMA department, but rather from the date the residency card is issued, which could be another 1 to 2 years, meaning the total timeline could be 11 to 12 years to qualify you to apply for a Portuguese passport if the rules don't change again in the next 11, 12 years. Well, I have my money on the government's going to change the electoral system in terms of the people who are voting will change their mind on what they want. Will they want to give passports to golden visa? Do you need to live and reside in Portugal? That could be the next change. So the citizenship eligibility initially, and then let's say in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or even 10 years, just before you submit your Portuguese citizenship, they decide that, hey, you should have spent 6 months every year for the last 5 years or 10 years or whatnot to to stay eligible or become eligible. That's a risk. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody has a crystal ball. However, Portugal still remains one of the most paths to citizenship eligibility in the EU compared to other programs or countries in that region. Full-time residency of 7 to 10 years for most of these countries in the EU, but Portugal's golden visa is still one of the most flexible, or at least it remains that way today. In 4, 6, 8 years, we don't know. Spain implemented a 100% property tax on non-residents in 2025 and paused its very famous Golden Visa program. No new program has been announced by the Spanish government, and we expect some news by Q2, hopefully, by the government. But still, it remains a mystery. Whether it'll be announced in 2026, obviously real estate may be removed, or there'll be just specific regions of Spain that would qualify. So you cannot go into those prime locations anymore and qualify. Or they could increase the threshold, meaning that if you want a golden visa, instead of 500,000 euros, it will be significantly higher. It was one of the few EU countries besides Greece, Cyprus, and Malta that allowed real estate investment for golden visas up to 2025, because Portugal removed that option end of 2023, as most of you know. Malta, on the other hand, a full EU and Schengen member, small island in the Mediterranean, just under Italy, has relaxed its requirements and made it easier, faster, and user-friendly for applicants to apply and obtain its permanent residency through the Malta Permanent Residency Program. Although its citizenship investment program has been shut down in April 2025, which was a huge blow to the market, especially Americans looking to trade in their American passports for a powerful EU passport, especially now that a US senator has tabled a new bill to ban dual citizenship in America. This is a huge pain point for Americans and many other applicants. Malta continues to be one of the most efficient EU programs, at least offering PR still, on arrival without any residency, any language, and continuous renewal, 5 years and beyond, as long as you hold that residency in terms of an address, whether you're leasing or buying. And you can obtain all this through a donation plus real estate investment or real estate rental. It's simple, it's beautiful, and if you love The Lord of the Rings, you can check it out, because a lot of that footage was actually done on the island. And it's an English-speaking country in the EU. Whoa, that's a big one. English-speaking country in the EU region. You can't find that. Greece has kept its program stable, and although they have increased the minimum real estate investment threshold for its golden visa program, there are loopholes to still invest the original amount of 250,000 euros. Obviously, you can't get much for it, maybe a little matchbox. You can still obtain EU residency through real estate or an investment fund in Greece if you believe that the real estate is overpriced in Athens, which we do. No residency time required, very flexible, fast processing. No police check in case you're a murderer or are on death row and you want to go to Greece while you break out of jail. And there's no requirement in terms of having previous refusals to Schengen, unlike the Malta program. Greece, as part of the Schengen, remains a top destination for overseas applicants, Americans, UK, Canadians, and Asians looking for EU residency and easy travel within the Schengen region. Cyprus has made its program more appealing and stable. Small little island, Greek-speaking, controlled by Greece, and it is in the Mediterranean. Beautiful food, beautiful landscape, great lifestyle. After a lot of shutdowns and scrutiny in the past several years of the EU by the EU regulators on the Cyprus golden visas or investor programs, Cyprus has cleaned up its act and is now offering no residency requiring golden visas based on pure real estate investment. You can, of course, do other capital investments, whether it's in a company or anything else. But real estate seems to be the flavor of the day. Processed within 4 to 6 months, only one visit required. Cyprus is part of the EU, not Schengen. However, this may change in the next 2 to 4 years as the government is pushing to become a full member of the Schengen region. Real estate developers have always claimed that it will become one in the past 20 years. But now the government has actual documented initiatives to achieve this goal over the next 2 years, but let's say 3, 4 years, just to be safe, because you know and I know you can't trust politicians. Italy's program is one of the hottest destinations for Americans, Canadians, and UK citizens looking for lifestyle, easy residency, all within 90 days. While Portugal's program is now cooling down, Italy's is red hot and taking in a lot more investor visa applications based on their either 250,000 euro startup investment or a 500,000 euro investment in a listed or private Italian company. Of course, you also have the government bonds at 1 million euros and the philanthropic donations at 2 million euros, which are less common but still available. The citizenship is more difficult in Italy. Getting a PR versus a temporary residency is also more difficult because you need language. But the temporary residency is super easy, and you don't even need to live there or become a tax resident or spend any time and still renew it as long as you hold the investment. So it is definitely on the top of the list for many applicants looking for that Mediterranean lifestyle, fast processing, and easy. The Caribbean islands citizenship by investment programs have been getting a lot of heat in 2025, both from the US and EU Parliament, and probably quietly from the UK. A lot of changes are coming for the Caribbean passport programs, and nobody knows whether existing or previous applicants will be grandfathered in or the new 2026 regulations on mandatory residency of 30 days or more for the first 5 years will apply to everyone, only new applicants. Will it be grandfathered in? All the applicants have to meet those requirements? Nobody knows. They may claim they know, but nobody really knows. The EU has threatened them with visa-free removal at any time with their new regulations. While there are reports out that certain countries like Norway have been quietly denying entry to these types of passport holders, the citizenship by investment, especially from the Caribbean. This has created fear amongst many new potential applicants concerned to invest in a second or third or fourth passport, and they're looking for alternatives actively. In all this confusion, St. Vincent in the Caribbean has announced it plans to launch its citizenship by investment program in 2026, basically based on donation or investment to obtain a passport within months. But it won't be any different than the other programs in the Caribbean. And we don't see how it could add value to the market except push prices and become more competitive. So instead of 5 options, now you have 6, but they're all pretty much the same. But Argentina, Sao Tome Principe, Nauru, and Botswana all have taken advantage of this new void or opportunity in the CBI, citizenship by investment market, and announced their own citizenship by investment programs. Sao Tome Principe is a small Western African island, tiny, with no real benefits for passport holders, but 4 to 6 weeks processing with flexible eligibility, easy documentation. And it's become quite popular with the Asian community. While Botswana is struggling to launch, and Nauru just had its visa-free access revoked by the UK, similar to Ireland, which revoked it just as it actually announced it was planning to launch its citizenship-based investment program in late 2024. Argentina, on the other hand, may become the prize position and clear winner in this upcoming year's citizenship by investment program options, as it has the most powerful passport of any CBI program in existence if it launches after Malta's program was shut down in the EU. It is one of the most unique CBIs, but not yet implemented. The public tender has been released earlier this month in December 2025 by the Argentinian government to outsource the entire process. And the tender is expected to be closed by the end of Q1 2026. We expect the Argentinian citizenship by investment program to be launched by the end of 2026, considering all the factors that are in play, because there's no process or system in play. And even the Argentinians don't even know what the program will be. There are rumors of it being $500,000, but it's rumors. There's nothing documented that actually proves that. Completely outsourced, similar to how the Argentinian government has outsourced its entire cybersecurity contracts with Israeli company in the past year. And The investment program as well. It will be an investment program, not a donation. So let's say a hybrid of an EB5, but back in the old 1990s when compliance and regulatory oversight were weak. We already have a wait list for applicants seeking the Argentinian passport program, as it's eagerly anticipated in the most prominent program the entire industry has seen launch in the past few years. Dubai's golden visa is red hot, with real estate market going through the roof since September of 2025, and everything being sold out in days, sometimes even one day or in hours, depending on the developer. The most expensive penthouse was recently pre-sold by the Bengati Group for a cool Chris 550 million AED local currency, which is about 150 million US. Its golden visa remains strong with minimum investment of 2 million dirhams or more, or approximately 544,000 US, and the possibility to obtain the golden 10-year golden visa with only 25 deposit on a pre-construction project, and even having post-handover financing direct from some of the developers in the UAE. So you pay 60% up to completion, and then 40% perhaps post completion. And if you rent it out, that pays for itself. There's no personal income tax in the UAE, and it's one of the hottest destinations for high net worth earners or professionals who are fed up with taxes. Panama is the runner up this year. They're slowly becoming one of the top and sought after programs in the market for residency, RBI, residency by investment, that may lead to citizenship. After Portugal's citizenship changes announced and the EU cracking down and making it less user friendly for all of its programs, and even the Caribbean islands seeing a huge loss in value with high risk of visa revocation by the EU, Panama is shining. Why, you may ask? Well, real estate investment, $200,000 or $300,000 will get you that golden visa or that permanent residency, not temporary. Depending on your nationality, it's either 200 or 300,000. You can even do a bank deposit, or you can even plant a tree. I've never done that for anyone. Or you could invest in stocks or bonds. A lot of options are there. 90 days PR processing, no matter where you're from. That's fast. Open to all nationalities. There's no ban on nationalities. The Minister of Panama has a video online confirming, like an interview, that you can become eligible for citizenship by spending 1 day every 2 years, and you can become eligible in 5 years. So technically, you arrive once to get your PR card, you come back another 2 years. That's 2 years, so 2 visits. You come back in another 2 years, so that's 3 visits, and then you come back to submit your citizenship application on the 5th year. Voila. Territorial tax jurisdiction, meaning anything you earn from outside Panama, zero taxes. You get a traveler passport. May not be much, but it helps, assists, and complements your own existing passport, and it confirms your permanent residency status for Panama, and it gives you a little bit of flexibility within the Latin American countries, and there's potential that you could go to Greece with it as well, as we've confirmed as of December 2025 on the EU airport and travel website to make sure what is accepted in terms of arriving, visa on arrival for this Panama traveler passport. Parents can be included from one side, the main applicant. Children under the age of 25 can be included. Excellent new projects by top of the line developers ready to move in, pre-construction. It's up to you. RO yields of 5, 6, or 7% net, depending on if you're doing short-term or long-term rental. A USD-based economy with stable government, very investor-friendly, and the Panama passport, if you decide to obtain a citizenship, can get you visa-free access to over 140 countries, Schengen, UK, electronic travel authorization to Canada, plus more. And E2 visa status with the US if you fancy to getting a work visa, indefinite renewals for US. The key theme in 2025 was program changes, shutdowns, high risk for applying for the old programs that were so popular in the last 10, 20 years. But a new breed of programs is rising from the ashes, such as Panama and Argentina, and even perhaps Serbia just under the radars. The major theme going into 2026 for investors, families, business owners, and professionals: tax optimization. Governments are after your money and they want more of it in the future. I guarantee you, there's no crystal ball required concerning the huge debt, the interest they have to pay. So they have to pay those bondholders more money than they can spend on maybe the healthcare or the education or building roads for you. Another theme for 2026 will be easy residencies that lead to citizenship without full-time living in that destination country, right? And investment ROI. How much can you make or get back for what you invest in these programs? Tax optimization, tax residencies, permanent residencies, or citizenship outcomes. These are the pain points for many professionals and investors. What will you do about it when your government comes after your money, after they come after your dual citizenship, like they plan to in the US? Or perhaps they come after your assets if you're in a government or a country where, democracy is not, maybe it's advertised, but it's not practiced. Doing nothing might cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions. Our intake form takes 60 seconds. Literally, is 60 seconds worth saving millions of dollars for you in the next 5 or 10 years or whatnot? I might make it might I might be able to save you from the governments in a short 15 to 30-minute call. If not, why are you still watching this video? We recently did a calculation of Canadian professional executives who earn more than $250,000 to $300,000. Within 15 years, they've paid close to $4 million in taxes while they're trying to save up for retirement. Have you ever thought about that? Oh, I'm working my butt off to get the retirement savings so I can retire comfortably or have a nest egg for my family and children, while I'm paying 10 times more over a 10, 15, 20-year timeline as a high earner, executive, or business owner to the government. To do what? To give me a very basic pension that I won't starve to death? Whoa, let's step back here, folks. If you didn't have to pay those 30, 40, or 50% plus taxes, could you retire earlier? The answer is yes. Folks, not going to explore more of that because I'll leave those thoughts are just to stay with you and consider, is it a reality? Can you optimize your future financial situation, your asset diversification, your plan B, residency, citizenships? Is there a risk for you with your current government, wherever you are? Doesn't matter. Asia, Southeast Asia, Middle East, Africa, North America, Central America, South America. Things are changing, and you have to be ready for 2026 and beyond. This is what we've seen in terms of the trends and changes in the past year. Quick question by one of our audience members, Ash H8F. Hello, what is your point of view regarding the new startup visa update? Well, the program has paused, no new applications for Canada for startup visa, but we do expect something to come up, and a new pilot, potentially SUV 2.0, in 2026, maybe end of 2026, maybe in 2027, we don't know. But the government in Canada wants to just process existing cases. They don't want new people, whether it's startup visa, skilled worker, or any other program in the world. The Canadian government does not want people to immigrate anymore. They will process existing applications, but not more than that. Thank you, folks. Thanks for tuning in. And again, hope you enjoyed the holidays. We're at the end of the year, December 2025. If you're watching us in the future, this information may still be relevant. And of course, you can always rewind, come back, and call me out if I told you something that maybe is not correct or maybe didn't happen. Things always do happen, but it's just a matter of time. We can't pinpoint exactly in 3 months, 6 months, a year, or 3 years. Be ready. Changes are coming, and we're here to help navigate those changes. Remember, the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Take care, folks. Don't apply for the sake of applying. Do your research, do your homework, and then apply with a plan. Thanks again. Take care. Have a wonderful week and an upcoming new year. We'll see you soon. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.